All right, very cool. Yeah, I'm happy to be here. This is such a cool place. I wasn't cool growing up. Actually, in elementary school and middle school, my classmates used to make fun of me and say that I gave off serial killer vibes. And now that I've watched every serial killer documentary on Netflix, I realize that those were compliments. Most of those guys are pretty damn charming. It's like, oh, you think I look like the kind of guy who can trick a woman into getting in my car? Thank you. I don't get why girls like serial killers so much. Like, I know so many girls that are obsessed with serial killers. Like, Ted Bundy murdered women and then had sex with their bodies. And a bunch of girls saw his picture in the newspaper and they were like, I can fix him. Like, do most dudes suck that much? That a girl can see a serial killer and be like, well, I know he's got some issues, but at least he's not a DJ. I don't know about you guys, but I had a lot of free time during the pandemic. I spent a lot of my free time thinking about time travel. Yeah, thinking about where I would escape to if I could travel back in time. And I think I decided if I could travel back in time, I would travel back to the Roman times. Because according to all their statues, I have the perfect size penis. It'd be great. I'd be the model for just the dick part of the statue. They use a muscular man for the rest of it, and then they're like, bring in the dick guy. I just have to walk in fully dressed, except a hole cut out for my dick. What's going on, dude? Have you ever measured your dick?
Do you not?
Okay, so that's a yes. I've never measured mine successfully. Every time I do it, I'm like, these numbers don't add up. I think it's because I don't know where to put the ruler, you know? I think that's the problem. You know, I don't know if you're supposed to like put it on the side or like really get in there with it. I think I'm just gonna start measuring from the middle of my hip out. Because I've got like at least 4 inches on the inside. And I think with the right person, that's gonna matter. I say it's what's on the inside that counts. Because that is where most of my dick is. I did that joke a while ago, and a guy came up to me after the show, and he was just like, yeah, I'm an inside man myself, too. I was just like, nice, let's exchange numbers. See, there's no way to transition to this next thing. I love my dad. I've got a great dad. He raised me. Wouldn't be here without him. The only problem with my dad is that he doesn't always nail social issues. Like, he actually impressed me. Like, when George Floyd was murdered, my dad was like, that cop killed him, that cop should go to jail. And I was like, good job, Dad, you nailed it. But then the protests started, and on the news he saw a Five Below got burnt down. And he was just like, hey, wait a second, I like Five Below. His attitude completely changed. He was like, we gotta support our boys in blue, Walmart, Sam's Club. I was like, Dad, you don't get it. Yeah, I didn't know my dad was political at all. My dad never talked politics my whole childhood, except one time. That should have been a red flag. When I was real little, I was learning about the election in school, and my dad was like, you learned about the election, who would you vote for? And at the time, Al Gore was running. And I was like, I guess I'd vote for Al Gore. And he was like, you don't want to vote for Al Gore. He's going to make rock and roll illegal. And little me was like, oh no, not rock and roll. I was like, I want to rock and roll all night and party every day, Papa. He's He's like, and that's why we got to vote for George W. Bush. So rock could live forever. Let's see. I was on my phone earlier today. I saw this article. The headline of the article was 14-year-old boy receives double hand transplant. And I was like, wow, that's pretty amazing stuff. So I started reading it, and they're interviewing the boy in the article. And at the beginning, they ask him, they go, what's the first thing you're going to do now that you have hands? And the boy says, I'm going to go to Disney World. And I'm like, you could have gone to Disney World without hands. Did your parents tell you you needed hands to go to Disney World? The doctor came into the waiting room and they're like, the surgery was a success. And they're just like, fuck. Now we have to take him. And that kid's not going to Disney World, by the way. That kid's a liar. The first thing that kid's doing is jerking off. That's a 14-year-old boy that just got hands. For the last 3 years, he's just been rubbing at it with his nubs. Probably looked like he was trying to start a campfire. And like, I know you don't want to tell the news you're jerking off. It's embarrassing. But there's so many better lies he could have come up with other than Disney World. He could have been like, oh, now that I have hands, I'm going to pet a dog. Learn to play guitar. Get into wearing bracelets. Yeah, because they used to just slide right off. The pandemic has been a little rough for me. I had to go back to delivering pizza during the pandemic. Yeah, I hate delivering pizza. But my favorite thing ever happened the other day while I was working. I pulled up to this guy's house to deliver his food, and then right behind me, a Chinese food delivery driver pulled up. And then we walked to the guy's door together. And the guy answered the door, and he was clearly home alone. And he just looked at us, and he went, "Oh, man, I was hoping you guys wouldn't see each other." All right, you guys were a lot of fun. Enjoy the rest of the show.